The Butcher is a French crime thriller directed by Claude Chabrol in 1970. It revolves around the relationship between Hélène, a resolutely celibate but kind schoolteacher, and an echo of Helen of Troy, and Popol, a butcher back from 15 years of military service in the former French colonies of Indochina and Algeria. The story unfolds in a small town in the famous Dordogne region, known for its caves with prehistoric art. One of the pivotal sequences is shot in and around the grottos of Cognac, its walls covered with numerous drawings of animal and human figures traced in red and black ink. Helen's lecture there on Cro-Magnon emphasizes that his instincts, intelligence, and feelings were human, like us. Once the desires of prehistoric man lost their savagery, she claims, they became aspirations. Are we to link Chabrol's work with the birth of art? Are the same instincts that motivate a primitive art related to those that drive one to kill? Or does art release or redirect them? That is, will man's violent instincts win out over the aspirations towards the beautiful? We're never sure, not any more than Helen is, that Popol, who has begun painting her apartment for her, is the killer. Not even once she finds the cigarette lighter she's given him as a gift next to the corpse of one of the victims. The gift of the lighter, by the way, evokes both Prometheus and a turning point for prehistoric man, the moment when humankind receives fire. In any case, Chabrol is not playing a cat-and-mouse detective game with us. Rather, he's concerned with the psychological states of Helen as she realizes that Popol may in fact be the culprit. In an early sequence, we discover that the walls of the school where Helen lives and works are covered with posters of modern images, most importantly of Van Gogh's self-portrait in the stairwell. We're to see that the walls of Helen's apartment resemble those of the cave. In this scene, Hélène will walk into her sleeping area, draw the curtain, in an apparent gesture to protect her intimate space, and this scene anticipates a later scene in the woods, where she turns down the gentle advances of Popol. In the kitchen, we'll see a print by Arcimbaldo, who used various foods in his portraits. Food and human form are disturbingly interchangeable in these images, just as they seem to be for the so-called butcher in the film. Chabrol masterfully parallel edits the next sequence to set a mood of eerie foreboding. The sound bridges are particularly troubling. Chabrol offsets the search for a victim against the elementary school's recess. Silent, virtually faceless police figures stand off against the bright, innocent faces of children at play. The somber shade of the tree marks the movement of the chickens off from the bright facade of the commissariat. And most of all, the disturbing percussion mixes with the sound of the chickens. The shots of the children are kinetic, paralleling the movement of the chickens. As the officers walk by in the past, the children have no sense of what's taking place nearby, the discovery of a victim. Monsieur Hamel, Helen's companion teacher at the school, has just been married and has no idea that his wife will soon become one of the victims of the serial killer. Again, the children are happy. Their movement is playful and good. It's pleasant. Until two boys talk in hushed tones about the discovery of one of the bodies. In essence, the sequence suggests that the two worlds are at odds, until the gendarme will pass by in the background, the music overtaking the innocence of the playground.
A dit qu'on a trouvé une morte dans un bois.
Oh, mais qu'est-ce que je dis? Allons, rentrez. Oh,
We never see any of the murders take place. The most significant ellipsis of all comes significantly in the schoolroom. In this sequence, Popol confronts Helen about her suspicions of him. He threateningly holds the knife, Helen closes her eyes, and Chabrol splices together 3 partial fade-outs of their faces until we see nothing. We then fade into Popol, now closer to the camera, intense and calling out Helen's name. For a brief moment, we don't know what's happened, whether he's killed her or not. In a film that celebrates visual art from its inception to its modern forms, the most important image is excised. It's hidden from view. We're left in a cave, without light, knowledge, or certainty.